Peace, 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 peace. It's Andrew, the Promised Child, once again, and welcome to another episode of the ATPC Coffee Talk. Now, today is day 5 of the fast. Been fasting for 5 days, and I already put out a short form video. It's on YouTube Shorts right now. It's on Facebook, Instagram. It's on TikTok. And the short form video that I did this morning, I was speaking about how you should be reading a chapter today of Genesis. Read a whole chapter today of Genesis. Read that whole chapter. Chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1. Read the whole chapter today. That's your assignment for today. Also, pray 5 times. I got to keep letting you know that 5 times. Pray when you get up in the morning. If you didn't pray when you woke up this morning, make sure you do you a quick prayer. But do 5 prayers today. Stay on top of that. Meditate. Take control of your mind. Reject any negative thoughts that come into your mind. And this is about self-control. We live in a society that doesn't promote self-control. We live in a society that actually promotes the opposite of self-control. It promotes for us to live a reckless, emotional, feeling life. You know, that's what I call an emotional, feeling life. It says do what you want to do. You could do whatever you want to do, right? And in a sense, you can do whatever you want to do. But in doing whatever you want to do, there's consequences, right? So, for example, me eating so much, me drinking so much, yeah, I can do that, and I have done that. But that led me to the hospital. Arm hurting, chest hurting. You know what I'm saying? That's where it led me to. Right? So in a sense, yeah, you can do what you want to do, but there's consequences behind what you do. So that's what this fast is about. This fast is about self-control, taking control of my thoughts. As a man think and talk about this. See, we got to be able, and as a man think of, that's written by James Allen. I also got a book club on that y'all could join. But we got to start taking control of our thoughts. See, our actions, the way we move, come from a program. It come from a thought process, how we look at things. I remember in the book of As a Man Think Of, he writes in there, he talks about, and I'm just paraphrasing it or I'm putting it in my own words. He talks about a man who changes his diet but doesn't change his thoughts. It doesn't mean anything. And I meditated on that thing. I said, that's deep. A man changes his diet. He can say, yo, I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start eating right. But it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing if he don't change the way that he see that food. Woo! Woo! Hey, that's deep when you start to think about it. That is deep. It don't mean nothing. You could diet. You can say, I'm not going to eat this. I'm not going to drink that. But till you change the way that you see that, until you change the way that you see that pork, until you change the way that you see that beef, until you change the way that you see that chicken, until you change the way that you see that alcohol, till you change the way that you see that marijuana, till you change the way that you see it, it don't mean nothing. Because you always, if you don't change the thought process, you always gonna go back. That's why you will hear people say, hey man, I don't do this anymore. Whatever that particular thing is, I don't do it no more. Yeah, I'm going to lay off it. I'm going to chill off it for a little bit. And then they end up going right back. Why do they end up going right back? Because they didn't change the way that they see it. See, if you saw alcohol the way that you saw rat poison, then you wouldn't drink it anymore. But you don't, that's the thing. You don't see the alcohol as rat poison. You see, oh, that's alcohol. It's gonna make me feel good. It's gonna make me feel good. I feel like it's gonna distract me from these negative thoughts. It's gonna help me escape from reality. I get to feel good. I get to get drunk. So you don't see it as poison. You don't see it as it destroying your body. That's why I say, woo, you don't look at the fried food as poison. So until we change the way that we see these things, that's when real change comes, when we change our thought process on how we look at it. The way that we look at it. The way that we view it. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start changing the way that we see ourselves. We got to change the way that we see the world. We got to change the way that we see things. And as I always say, that comes from reading. That comes from getting books that introduces new ideas to you that you never thought of before. You know, As a Man Thinketh has introduced ideas to me that's like, oh man, I ain't never think about that. Like there's another thing it says that As a Man Thinketh, a man doesn't become a criminal overnight. A man doesn't become a criminal overnight, right? A man doesn't become a criminal because of his circumstances, right? So what I mean by that, somebody just lost their job, right? And the first thing they do is start scamming. The first thing they do is start selling dope. First thing they do is start robbing people. First thing they do is start harming people. They're not doing this because of their circumstances, right? They're not doing this because they lost their job. That was something that was already deep in their heart. And now the opportunity to live out that fantasy or the opportunity to carry out that thing has presented itself. And when I read that, I said, man, because I used to justify, like somebody lose their job, they got children. I said, I understand why they sell drugs. I get it. And then as a man, think to change my perspective on it, because it says, no, that's something that was already in your heart. Because if you lost, why you just ain't go get your CDLs? You lost your job, why you just ain't go get your driving license? You lost your job, why you just ain't go get another one? You lost your job, why you just ain't start a business? Because what was in your heart was already being a criminal. Being a criminal was already in your heart. You already thought about it. It was something that you was already emotionally connected with. You just needed a good enough reason to become a criminal. But it was already there. Because if anything else was there, that's what you would have did. That's why I said, why you ain't become a truck driver? Why you ain't become a barber? Why you ain't start selling wristbands? Why you ain't start selling body oils? Why you ain't just go start a business? Why you ain't do this? Why you ain't start cutting grass? Why you ain't start cleaning floors? Why was the first thing that you did was become a criminal? Because that was already in your heart. That's something that was already deep inside of you. That was something that was already in your mind. So circumstances reveal the man to himself. It doesn't make the man, it reveals the man to himself. Problems reveal the man to himself, who he is. It shows if you're weak or if you're strong. If you're going through trials and tribulations, that reveals who you are, reveals your character, reveals you as a person. Are you weak-minded or are you strong-minded? And that's why I speak so much on being strong-minded, on us changing our thought process, changing our mind, changing the way that we see things. And that comes from what? What Joshua said, if I'm not mistaken, Joshua 1, 8 and 9, if I'm not mistaken, it says, meditate on my word day and night, right? And I will make your ways successful. All right? So not just the Bible, but studying and reading other things. Because the thing is, we don't know it all. I don't know it all. I don't know it all. None of our ideas came from ourselves. All of our ideas has been introduced to us through society in one way. One way or another, I should say. Ideas been introduced to us through social media. Ideas been introduced to us through TV. Ideas been introduced to us through media, period. Ideas been introduced to us through books, through newspapers. Ideas been introduced to us when we just walking up the street or we in a shopping center and we talking to somebody else and they drop some on us and say, oh, that's interesting. So ideas has always been introduced to us. So what I'm saying is, if we're living inferior right now, if we're living in poverty right now, if we're living in lack right now, we must ask ourselves, why am I living in poverty? Why am I living in lack? Why am I struggling? Why am I going through this, right? We must ask ourselves, did I put myself here? You go look at what you did for the last 120 days. Go look at what you did for the last 365 days. And then you look at yourself today and you say, dang, this is how I ended up here. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm in this position. So we must reevaluate our thoughts constantly on this is an everyday job. This is not one day I read the book, one day I said positive affirmations. No, this is an everyday job. Taking control of your mind and being in control of your mind is an everyday job. Literally, it's an everyday job. It's not a one-day job. It's an everyday job. This is something you're going to have to do for the rest of your life, because the way that we was programmed, we've been programmed to be servants and employees, or we've been programmed to be, because there's nothing wrong with being a servant. So let me make sure I clear that up. The word I meant to say is, we've been programmed to be employees and consumers. Lovers of pleasure, lovers of entertainment. Consume, work for somebody else, then consume, watch a lot of entertainment. That's how we've been programmed. That program needs to go. We need to become producers. We need to become owners. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to be studying and learning more. So we got to change, as Bob Proctor call it, we have to change our paradigm, which is a habitual behavior, which is ideas that's driven into the subconscious mind. We got to change it. How do you change it? You got to get new information, right? You got to seek new information. Real talk. We got to seek new information. But I just wanted to get on here, give y'all the update. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to ATPC Coffee Talk. Right? This video also will be on my Patreon, Andrew the Promised Child Patreon. It will be up there. Go over there, become a member ASAP. Also, if you like to purchase some of these ATPC wristbands, right? These are positive affirmation wristbands. You got cool stuff like believe in yourself. You can see that. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. I can, we can do all things. I was born great. I am the future. Don't be scared to be the first. Struggle is necessary for growth and change. My speaking brand, my stylevation, my style speaker. You know what I'm saying? So peace be to you. I will be bringing more videos to you. I will be doing more studying. I will be sharing more of my experiences to help you, right? Because my main thing is to build people confidence up. Build it up, right? And make it so strong that you are able to go after your dreams. You're able to, you know what? I'm so confident in myself now, I can go after my dreams. I can make my dreams a reality. Because we can make our dreams a reality. And that's why I wanted you to read the book of Genesis. It said, listen, before I let you go, it says, a God gave dominion over the earth. He told us be fruitful. So meaning like produce, be fruitful, replenish the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, this is a command he gave us. You got dominion over the earth. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's deep, bro. That's deep, sis. Like we got dominion over the fish. We got dominion over the birds. None of us should be hungry. None of us should be struggling. God commanded us to go take. Blessed, if we follow God's law, blessed in the city. Your crops is blessed. Everything is blessed if you follow the law. But I'm going to go into that later. I'm going to do a video on that. But I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Peace.